today. Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Stephen Asamoah Boateng, is here with us. Minister for Interior, Honorable Henry Korte, is also here with us. Deputy Attorney General, Honorable Afetua Yeboah, is also here with us. Greater Accra Regional Minister Designate, Honorable Titus Nikwate Glover, is also here with us. Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Dakwan Newman Designate. And then we have Zachariah, who is the Chief Director at the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection. You are welcome to the Ministry of Information. At this moment, I'll yield to the Minister for Gender and Social Protection for the brief. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sly, and a good afternoon to everyone here. As the Minister rightfully said, we are here to give you an update on Naa Okromo. We are all aware of the ceremony that took place, and she has no immediate health concerns. Naa Okromo's date of birth, from records at her creche and her primary schools she attended, indicates that she's 15 years old, and she was born on the 18th of July, 2008. The child will continue to pursue her education, and the Attorney General has issued an interim report, which is dated 18th April 2024, and has advised that in the best interest of the child, and in accordance with Section 2 and 5 of the Children's Act, the child should be released to her parents pending their complete review of the docket. Thus, the child will be reunited with her family today, 18th April 2024, after the parents have signed a bond. This is the update we have for you now concerning Naa Okromo. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very short a brief from the Minister for Gender, Minister Designate from Gender and Social Protection. Of course, this is live on GTV and on Ministry of Information's website, streaming live as we speak now. We'll now allow the media questions on this matter. I believe that the media is interested in all the issues around it. So you mention your name, your media house, and you are given the opportunity to, as much as possible, be precise and straight to the point. And please don't repeat the questions. We'll go straight. In the next 15 minutes, we should be out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to ask your questions. Thank you. Yes. Please hold on. Yes, they are bringing the microphone. Minister, can you take down the questions?
Thank you. My name is whether the state will prosecute the chief who was alleged to have married the girl. Initially, we heard 12 years, but now it has been confirmed that she is 15 years and she is still below the age required for someone to get married, which is 18 and above. So if it is true that she was married to the chief, would the state continue with the prosecution? Then regarding the bond the parents have signed, why the need for the parent to sign a bond? What necessitated the need for the parent to sign the bond? Then why the need to conduct pregnancy test? Because as the minister said, she is not pregnant. Why the need to conduct pregnancy test? Because before somebody would decide to conduct pregnancy test, then there must be a lingering issue of maybe having sexual intercourse. And so why the need? Because if the chief is not supposed to have sexual intercourse with a lady or with a girl, why the need to conduct pregnancy tests in the first place? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take first round of questions, 3 or 4, then I think that would be. Then
Okay.
no, after this, the AG will come. Yes.
My name is Sarah Apenko. I work with Media General. So there have been concerns since the incident broke, specifically with how traditions, norms, and cultures have to be evolved with current trend. We want to find out, from all the investigations done by the various interministerial committee, is there a need for the tradition of these people to be re-looked at, considering the roles they said the lady in question has been playing in the community?
Thank you. The Chieftaincy Minister is here. He will deal with it. Is that all the questions? Gentlemen, is that all the questions? Or we should answer these ones and then we take the last one, please. Okay, so Chieftaincy Minister before the AG. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. This incident aroused a lot of interest across the globe and especially international community, but you also raised a lot of issues. So we had to cover all angles. If I can start with the first question on whether we are prosecuting, AG will probably go in some details, but indeed, if you understood, especially when the matter came out, I was on air and I explained everything, so probably this question shouldn't have arisen. But just to repeat, that she wasn't married to the Gborbu Wulomo. It's a ritual which she has been initiated into it at age 6, and so she was focused on it. All they did was to elevate her status to a queen mother of that deity. So there was no marriage. Yes, of course, there was some incident of some MCs embellishing it on so many things, and my advice to them, sometimes if they talk to the Ministry of Chieftaincy with my registers, we can find appropriate people to manage these events. But they didn't know, so they went ahead, but there was nothing like a marriage. And so if you say that if she was married and a child that's underage, then it doesn't happen. It didn't happen, and that's not the case we're talking about here. So AG would probably answer, if there was no marriage, then there's no prosecution here. But seriously, come back to the second question. Yes, there are some customs and traditions that may well be looked at by my ministry, because we all know, as Ghana became independent, before then we lived in the era where the tradition ruled, the chiefs were in charge, and the fetish priests and Abosom and all that, they controlled us. The Tindanes controlled some part. Me, when you come to my hometown and the fetish priest talks, nobody challenges them. There's a saying in Chi that but you can see it's red, but if you say it, you've tread where we shouldn't be, and the spirits deal with you. But also in the past, as we moved into modern world, democracy, law, modernity, more education and all that, we've realized some of the customs and traditions need to be reformed. And indeed, under the Chieftaincy Act 759, we've been enjoined to work with the National House of Chiefs to look at the codification of relevant customs across the country, because not all customs are the same. Even within Greater Accra, within certain areas, it differs. You come to the Middle Belt, Ashanti, Dentres, and Bonos, and Hafo. There are so many differences. But if we can get the codification right, then we can know what happens in which particular area. So it's ongoing. You remember in those days, as I mentioned earlier, when a chief dies in my part of the world, there were people who volunteered their children to be beheaded, so they can join the chief and go to the other world. These days, if you go and behead somebody, it's a crime, it's murder. So things have moved on. So the same thing, others will come on board and we change them. So I think that tackles the question. But in terms of what took place, we've done a lot of intensive investigation. And indeed, if I can veer into some of the questions you had, that why the pregnancy test and all that. I mean, you guys heard all the rumors. I also heard the rumors. We don't bury our heads in the sand. We live with you. We are leaders we are government, and we are public servants. So all the rumors you hear, we also hear. And just to cover the grounds, we have to do that, just to make sure. Though, yes, we all know, and from my investigation, it was a right to a deity, not to the man who is in front of the deity. But of course, when I hear a rumor of a pregnancy and a possible marriage, and our job as a government official is to cover all the angles. It doesn't necessarily mean that we believe it, but we have to cover that. And that's what we've done. And that's why the minister read the statement that she has. So that ends me. If there's any addition, the Deputy Attorney General will add to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a question about whether we are going to prosecute. Now, I wish to indicate that our office has taken possession or custody of the full docket on the matter. And our officers are reviewing the docket to ascertain various issues. One, whether what took place was actually marriage or not. We have not come to any conclusion on that issue yet. So the officers in the ministry are reviewing the docket, and when we come to any conclusion on that issue, it will be made known to the public. Number two, why, as the Honorable Chieftains Minister said, why the need for pregnancy tests? When it comes to issues of children, especially those below the age of 16, if you have matters relating to marriage, whether sex or whatever, the first thing to do is to see whether that female has been carnally known. So the medical officer decided to examine the child to see whether she has been carnally known, and also to ascertain if indeed, if she has been carnally known, whether she is pregnant. So the report, I can confirm that all the examinations were conducted and she is intact. So what is now left is to ascertain what took place on the 30th of March, and if anything adverse is found in this particular docket, we give you the assurance that we will initiate prosecutions. But if there's nothing adverse about what happened, we also let you know. So that is what I want you to know now. Thank you very much. All right. She'll come on.
So the bond is part of the social welfare protocols that need to be undertaken before she's reunited with the family. The parents are just signing to say that they are going to adhere to all child rights laws that this country has. So it's just to ensure that they append their signature to adhere to all the laws concerning children. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any more questions from the media? If not, then we bring the matter. Please, you have another question? You asked 3 questions. Okay, we'll oblige you that. Please.
Yes, now that the child will be released to the parents, would government support her education? And since it's a national issue, will government also take responsibility of her health in the future, if you have any consideration to that?
But like any other child in this country, there's an extent to which government is responsible for all of us, including that child. It's not a special case. There's an allegation that has fully been investigated. The matter has been brought to a closure, and I don't think that will warrant special care for that child apart from provision of education and ensuring that parents and society adheres to the laws of this country. So there's no special care from government. So please report well that government is not going to say that I'm going to take a special care of that child apart from what we do, please. Or minister will want to.
the state is interested in the welfare of all Ghanaian children, okay? It doesn't end here. Still, social welfare will be making visits to the child's home. This is pending all investigations are closed out. So in the interim, the state still has a responsibility, and the state will be carrying out these responsibilities. If there's a further need to assist the parents in one way or the other concerning the best interest of the child, then the state will come in. For now, we are handing her over to her parents, and the parents are taking full responsibility for their child. They will sign a bond in lieu of this, and so for now, until there's a need, the government will not step in. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we've exhausted all our questions from the media. We want to thank the ministers present here, Minister for Education, Interior, Minister for Greater Accra Chieftaincy, and of course the Attorney General's Department, and all of you, our colleagues from the media present here. We thank you sincerely, and of course, from the police administration, Deputy IGP is here with us. We thank you sincerely for taking time off your busy schedules to be with us. And of course, from the State Attorney, my friend Mercedes Marie, we thank you so much for coming. God bless all of us. Thank you. 23 minutes. How's this?